Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Now today, as you see from the title, we're going to be talking about 7 strategies to improve your financial literacy skills, okay? And before we get started, let's go ahead and hit the disclaimer. All right, there's our fair use disclaimer for educational purposes. And let's go through our definition as well. Financial literacy is the ability to understand and effectively use various financial skills, including financial management, budgeting, as well as investing. Okay, so we're going to try to sharpen up some of these skills. But before we get into it, make sure you're liking this video. Make sure you're also sharing this video out. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you can get everything that I upload. All right. So you want to develop financial literacy to improve your personal finances. And it involves learning, and then you also have to practice the skills that are going to be related to financial literacy, such as budgeting, okay, managing debts, paying off debts if you have them, and then understanding credit and investment products, okay? So we're budgeting, managing debt, paying off debt if we have them, and understanding credit and investment products. Now, it's never too late. It is never too late to start practicing good financial habits. The earlier, the better. You know, I always say that. But you have 7 strategies that you need to consider. So, number 1, we're going to jump right off into it. It's about creating that budget. Okay, creating a budget is it's just tracking how much you're spending. It's tracking how much you make. So it should include all your income. I mean, from paychecks, from investments, from alimony, child support if you got it. If you have a check coming in, all of that, all of that is considered income. Anything that you're using to live your life and to get you to that next place, whatever income you have coming in, you want to take that. Then you have your fixed expenses. Those are things like your rent. It's the same every month. Your mortgage, it should be the same every month. Your utilities can go up and down, but you have a range of where you know where they are, right? Um, and then loan payments. So if you have a car loan or just a student loan or any other type of loan, you want to be able to track that. Those are your fixed expenses. And then you have your what they call discretionary spending. So like that's the stuff that it's not necessarily, maybe you don't have to get it every month, or maybe you don't have to get it every week. You know, it's like non-essential things also, like eating out. If you like to go shopping or if you like to travel, things like that. The um, small things you need to get around the house, like toiletries, cleaning products, all those things. Those are like discretionary spending. Okay. And then you have your savings. And of course, you always know that we've been taught to pay ourselves first with our savings before we pay for anything else. Which brings us into number 2, actually, is to pay yourself first. That's what I was telling you. I've been telling you guys this for years. Pay yourself first, okay? Choose you a savings goal and you start working toward it. I don't care if that savings goal is $1,000 just for your just in case fund. You set that goal, and then every bit of little extra money that you get that you're not using toward discretionary or your fixed expenses, you know, your bills and things of that nature, you want to put it in that savings. Now, say if you get $1,000, you want to save at least, at the very least, you want to save $100 out of that $1,000. That's 10%. Now, we're going to go over some strategies later. So 10% is just the minimum, right? That 10%, that $100, if you save that $100 10 times, you'll have your $1,000. It's basically just that easy. But the point I'm trying to make is that you want to make sure you are paying yourself first. So choose your saving goal. Maybe you're trying to pay for education. Maybe you're trying to get a car. Maybe you're trying to get a home. You know, maybe you're trying to, um, I don't know, get a certificate or certification of some sort, something that's going to increase your ability to earn more money. Set those goals and set aside your money, pay yourself first so that you can achieve those goals. Now, Deciding how much you'll concentrate each month or contribute each month, and setting that amount aside. Like I told you, it could be $100 out of each check. 10 of those will give you $1,000. Okay, number 3, you want to pay your bills promptly. I know a lot of people be like, I used to work in a call center. Let me start there. I used to work in a call center, and a lot of times I would contact people, and they would say, my bill ain't even due yet. Let me tell you a secret. Your bill is due upon receipt. What that means is when you get your bill in the mail, it's already due. Yes, there is a due date on it. Just in case you don't have it today, they'll give you some more time to get that in without having any penalties. But as soon as you get that bill, no matter what it is, go ahead and pay it. Just go ahead and pay it off. Because if you do it like that, then you don't have to ever worry about paying late fees. You don't have to worry about ever being in a situation where your services are going to be interrupted due to non-payment. And the reason you don't want the late fees is because that costs more. It costs you more to have late fees. I know people that, or I have known people, should I say, that will pay their bills late because they'll pay this bill this month, pay the next bill the next month, and somewhere along the way, probably in their discretionary spending, the money that they're using for non-essential stuff got a little bit out of hand, and so they ended up getting behind on bills. And now you're paying one bill per month, trying to keep everything on. But in the meantime, you have fees for being late, paying your rent late. I understand that there's a late fee in place for a lot of people, but that doesn't mean you should want to have to pay that extra $50 or that however much it is. It's different, for different people. So make sure you're paying your bills promptly if you can. And what I would suggest, and it's something that I do myself, is putting auto bill pay, connecting auto bill pay to your accounts and allowing the money to just be taken out. That way you know that it's coming out on time each and every month. Okay. Number 4, get your credit report. This is a big one. It's a big one because it seems like a lot of people are scared of looking at their credit reports or scared to look at or to do anything with their credit. A lot of people have this notion that it's hard to do, it's too hard, or that it takes too long. Well, when you go to buy that house, when you go on that lot to buy that car, they're going to look at those credit. And it's actually pretty simple, to be honest with you. If you have anything on your credit, because you have 3 bureaus that collect your credit, right? Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. If you have any bad thing on there, what you're going to do is try to get those removed off. This is how simple it is, guys. You're just going to try to get it removed if you have anything bad. And then while you're trying to get things removed off that are bad, you're basically just trying to add things that are good. So that may be applying for a small credit card and paying it off, or making payments to keep your balance and utilization low on your cards every month, and then getting another card. And then maybe you want to get like a little loan and pay it off. What you're doing is you're adding good stuff to your credit, good information. A lot of people, when they're working with their credit, they'll go get a loan that they don't even need. I'm serious. Like, they'll go get a loan that they don't even need. Say the loan is for a couple $100. They'll go get that loan and they'll hold on to the money and they'll pay it right back just so they can have a paid in full on their account. And then the next time they'll get a loan for a little bit bigger. And then they'll pay that one off because it's showing that you are responsible and companies can trust you. That's all credit is. It's, can we trust this person with the money that we're giving them? Whether that be a credit card, whether that be a loan, are these people responsible with their money? And that's really all financial literacy is about. It starts with just wanting to be responsible with your money. And these are just different ways to do so. Okay, now with your credit report, you get one free every year. And also, side note, if you get denied a line of credit, so you apply for a credit card, and they deny you, you can actually get a free credit report based upon that as well. Okay. So if you have any errors, you want to review that credit report and you want to try to dispute your errors, get that stuff corrected. and then you want to add good stuff. I don't care if that's your bank account that shows you paying your light bill. You can add your utilities to your credit report. You can add your rent now to your credit report. There's so many good things that you can add to your credit report, that doesn't have to be necessarily a mortgage. It doesn't necessarily have to be a student loan, right? And then check your credit score, okay? You want to check your credit score. A good credit score, of course, is going to give you better interest rates. It's going to give you better interest rates on loans and it's on credit cards. That's going to save you a lot of money. Rule of thumb, or one of my aunts actually taught me, is when you swipe your card, you immediately call in and make a payment for that amount. So basically, you don't use your credit card unless you have the money or you're about to have the money within, a couple of days. Say you need something on Wednesday, but you get paid on Friday. So you can swipe that card on Wednesday. You can pay that off on Friday. It's kind of basically, if you think about it, credit cards are really just another way for you to loan yourself money. But the credit company is doing it for you. And if you go ahead and pay that balance off in full, then guess what? You won't have really any interest to worry about. And so basically, you just borrowed money from yourself or from your credit lender. And then when you got paid on Friday, you pay that back off and everything's still going on time, right? Monitor your score. You do want to monitor your score for sure, but keep in mind that your credit rating is what you're really looking at, as much not as much as the number itself. And the reason I say that is because sometimes people get so caught up in the actual numbers of the credit score that they forget that the your rating is actually is marginalized, meaning it you can have anything from a 580 to below, 580 and below, or maybe 620 and below. And that's considered a poor rating, right? So even if you have somebody has a 619 and the other person has a, I don't know, a 450, that's really low. But at the end of the day, they're both in the poor rating. They both have a poor rating. So it doesn't really matter what that number is. Same thing goes for somebody who has like a 760, which is a good rating, right? And this person has a 787. They're both really good numbers, but they're both in the good rating file. So don't get so caught up in the number when it comes to your scores. Always pay attention to the rating, because sometimes you can put in an inquiry for a card, or say you're trying to get a vehicle or something like that, and you'll see your numbers fluctuate. Even as you use your credit cards and things, you'll see your numbers will fluctuate, and they can fluctuate, but your credit may or may not fluctuate. It just depends on, you know, what the number is, because it's like a margin, if you will, right? And be aware of how your decisions will impact your score. So like I was saying earlier, the inquiries, um, when you apply for credit cards, you're inquiring about a credit card. So that may take off a point or two. Even though you may still have the same rating, it still, will take off a point or two. But you still may be in the good standing, or as far as a good rating. You also, your utilization on the cards, like I told you, how much of your credit card that you use. And that's all utilization is how much of the credit card, how much of your credit on that credit card have you used. So say you have a card for $1,000 and you used $100, right? That's 10%. So your utilization will be at 10%. So you want to try to keep that as low as possible. If you do have credit card debt and you're looking for a bump in your score, just a little side note, the quicker you pay off your card, the more your numbers will go up, or the quicker they'll go up. So say if you have a card and it's $1,000 and you've spent, or you used $500, that's 50% utilization. Well, the quicker you pay off that $500, the more you'll see your, or the faster, should I say, you'll see your credit score bump up some points, right? So you want to just try to make as many payments on your credit cards as possible throughout the month. I don't care if you have bills or whatever the case may be. I understand that. But with a lot of times with certain bills, what you can do is you can put your whole check on your credit card bill, and hopefully, if you get it to where your bills are due at one point of the month and your credit card bills due at another point of the month, when you put your whole check on that card and say your credit card bills due first, they're going to report that number and the utilization for that time. So say you owe $500 on your $1,000 card. Your check comes in, you pay the $500, and then they report to the credit bureau. When they report to the credit bureau, they're going to say, "Hey, Mr. Joe, you have you don't have any debt. You paid it all off, right?" And then your bill comes in later on that month. Well, you can still swipe your card and pay off that bill as well. Do you still have zero balance on that card? No, because you just swiped it for a bill, right? However, when you get paid the next time, go ahead and pay it all off. There are a lot of bills that you can pay with your credit cards, and it also there, like I said, you can set it up to where your credit card is being reported at one time of the month and have your bills coming out at another time of the month, so that when that balance is reported, it'll show that you have a smaller utilization than what you have at the end. And you just keep going and spending, or trying to spend less, until you actually get that card all the way down to the point where you don't have to use it like that. Now, you also want to manage your debt. You have to manage your debt. And the reason I say that is because the last thing you want to do is have too much debt at one time. I know a lot of us deal with student loans. I myself still pay off student loans. And it has gotten in the way on certain occasions when I've gone to make larger purchases. Sometimes they have said, "Oh, well, your student loans are kind of high. So because your student loans are kind of high, we don't feel comfortable giving you this large of a loan for this car," or, you know, and they denied me for it. And that's fine, because all it made me want to do is pay off that debt a little bit faster, a little bit more. And it's not saying no, it's just basically saying not right now. Okay. And then they make sure you want to invest in your future. This is going to be the last one: investing in your future. Okay. If your employer offers you a 401k retirement savings account, take it. Like I said, you're going to need money when you get older too, and you're not going to want to work when you get older. I mean, think about it. Who really wants to work from 18 to 65? Especially if you're a person that didn't end up doing something that you like or love. You're not going to want to work that long. And even if you do love and enjoy your work, you may not want to work past 65. And you should have the ability to be able to do so. So things like 401ks, those really help. IRAs, those really help in when it comes to investing in for your future. You can have also a diversified investment portfolio, which is something I would tell everyone to do. That way, if one area kind of falls off, hopefully another area will keep you afloat. So you can vote in stocks. You got fixed income and commodities that you can invest into. And then also, just you, well, it's not even an also. Go and see, go to a financial professional, an advisor. They have many tools, many tools that they can introduce you to, of things that you can use to help you out, so that you, when you do become older, and you have money saved up, and hopefully that money was building some interest for you. And some of these things are what they call tax deferred, meaning I don't have to pay taxes on it right now. So say for instance, you're loaning, you have money going into your loans, right? Say you're doing what they call peer-to-peer loaning, which is just loaning out money to other people who need it. Well, the money that you put into that investment account, the money that you're going to loan to other people and you put into your account, you don't have to pay taxes on that. Same thing for stocks. When you put your money into stocks, you don't have to pay taxes on that right now. Okay. Now, when you pull that money out, you're going to have to pay some taxes on it. And stocks is actually taxed at one of the higher rates, right? But as of right now, while you're young, while you're vibrant, while you're doing your thing and stacking up your money, you don't have to pay taxes on that right now. So learn, definitely utilize the different investment vehicles that are tax deferred. And then when you go to file your taxes, you also get paperwork from these companies, entities that will let you know how much you invested that much. And they take that off of your total AGI, or your annual gross income, however much money you made that month, that year. Say you made 50,000 that year, but you invested 15,000. Well, 15,000 can basically come off of the 50,000, and so instead of being taxed for the full 50,000, you're now only going to be taxed for the 35,000. So it also can help in those ways as well. But like I said, you definitely want to talk to a financial professional and get some advice about that. Okay. Now, that's pretty much it for this video. I know this one was a little bit longer, but like I always say, thankfully there are many resources. So if you want to educate yourself, you definitely have the ability to do so. If you would like to find all of them in one place, I personally use my econ, and I did leave a link for that below for you. So I definitely encourage you to go check that out. It's in the description box. Okay. Other than that, I'm going to get on out of here, and I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you were able to get some of the information, and I hope you find it useful. And again, if you're on YouTube, make sure you're subscribing to the channel. No matter what platform you're on, make sure you're hitting that like button, and also make sure you're sharing this information out. Help us get out, guys. We have a little bit over 100 subscribers on YouTube, and right now the goal is 500. So I really would appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel, as well as push it out to other people so that they could possibly subscribe to the channel as well. We're trying to get to 500. We're down about 111, I believe it is. So we are working. We are on our way, and we're trying to get to that 500. But thank you again, guys, for tuning in, and I'll talk to you later.